Mr. Obafemi Olawere joins us now. He's the Executive Secretary, Major Oil Marketers Association of Nigeria. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you, Chief.
Well, part of what's causing all of this is, first of all, people think there's no justification, first and foremost, for government to fix that range, at least ceiling of 145 naira per litre from 86 naira 50 kobo.
You want my reaction? The truth is that government did not use the prevailing interbank rates, prevailing rates at the parallel market. It would have gone higher.
Would have gone higher.
It would have gone higher. Remember, government operates at 197 that nobody gets. And in truth and indeed, you will get it around 320 or more. But they chose 285. That's why you have that band of 135, 145. You see, and I'm told that the band was chosen, the rate was chosen because of the belief that it is attainable. Marketers met government and they believe that 285 is attainable.
How so? Because what then happens if the rate fluctuates tomorrow? Does it mean we're going to pay maybe, who knows, 200, 250 based on the market rate?
Our belief is that no matter what, the eventual band would come down. And let me explain it this way. Once we settle down and many people start bringing in products, you will find some people saying, oh, okay, my overheads are lower than that guy's overhead. And that's what happens in the aviation market, you know. We have the same landing cost, but we sell to the airlines at different price levels. Both local airlines and international airlines. You sign a contract and you look at your own costs and you agree with your customer on a particular price level. So where you have many people coming in, you will then see prices, you know, moving up and down until they settle at a point.
But in this case, aviation sector has been totally deregulated.
Yes.
Your sector has not been completely deregulated.
Yes.
What we have is just a price regime.
Yes.
Do you think this would also apply?
What we have now is a step towards deregulation. Deregulation is actually the end point. We're in a process, and we'll get there.
So let's look at what's the difference, besides the price regulation.
Yeah.
What's the difference between what we have now and deregulation?
When we get to deregulation, you have the refining process included. As it is now, we're looking at only the import side. Refining, because deregulation will have to start from the point of refining. You get your crude. And again, let me go back to history. The days when we were really deregulated in this country, and everybody must get that fact. The oil industry was deregulated at some point in the past, where we go buy the crude and we take it to the refinery, and then we pay refining fee. Once that happens, you take your refined product and then you look at your own costs, not the other person's costs, and then you fix a price. And that is why you could get the price in Lagos different from that one at Ibadan different from Port Harcourt. And that's why you could find in those days the price of Esso different from that of Total or Ajib. Because you look at your own costs. Because you want to Because the name of the game is actually volume. So you can do it such that your margin is small and get more volumes and you stay in business. And we believe that eventually we should get to the point where in the past we used to have 3-4 grades of petrol in a station. We used to have regular, you have super, you have 5-star in the same petrol station. And you get there and you decide which grade suits your car.
I've always been asking that question. Why is it that we just have one grade?
Yes.
Everywhere you travel to, if you drive a very big car, you go get the super or the 5-star.
Yes.
But it seems as if we have regular and it's all of the same pricing.
Exactly. So that is the beauty of deregulation. Once we get there, you will find these things coming up again. Yeah. It was happening in Nigeria before. It was happening in Nigeria before. And that's why it's surprising that the older ones are not telling the young ones that life was beautiful when there was deregulation.
So who spoiled it? I mean, the young ones will still tell you.
The word may not be spoiled, but really what happened was after the Civil War, the oil boom years started and government decided to have uniform price. That was the beginning of where we are now.
Okay. Let's come back to the present.
Okay.
If we have what we have now, with a cap of 145, and some of your people, some of the marketers are selling above the cap, what's the guarantee to the consumers that when you eventually get this thing rolling, that it will not be, you would even follow the rules that are laid down for you to play with?
I just returned from Abuja yesterday. The company has not given me money to do advert for them, but there are 2 retail outlets around. I know Abuja, but I don't know the names very well. But yeah, in Abuja,
Yeah, so
where we have Beja area, that outlet, somebody told me it was selling at 137, and I doubted it. But I went there because the guy needs to offload the stock and get more. And I'm saying it on air so that people can try and go to Jabi area, okay, and find out. So when we get to the point where everybody has the product, as we do now, those that want to quickly turn their tanks around will choose the price they want to sell. I am very confident that in spite of the unfavorable exchange rate, we will get to the point where the prices will be moving up and down.
Do you think there might be some that will be selling at 86.50?
86.50.
That would be a dream, I guess.
86.50 probably will come when the economy has also improved to a large extent.
Which is always going to be a relative term.
Yes.
Are you still being subsidized?
For now, no.
When last was it?
That was last year.
The last year? But
Yeah.
I thought they said that May.
This is what happened. When we started this year, we started in the regime of even having marketers to pay back when the crude was very low. Then it started rising. As of the last time I checked the PPRA template, subsidy had risen to 13 naira 70 kobo or so.
When was this? I thought it was 12 naira 62 in May.
No.
This month.
No. About 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
About 2 weeks ago.
It was 13.
Almost 1367 actually. And if you do the math, you arrive at times 30, times 40, about 16.8 billion in a month. Okay, that was, but nobody is paying that. Okay, largely because most of the material we got within that period came from NNPC. So if anybody is going to claim a subsidy, it will be NNPC. The private sector brought not much. But then government will now say, at the time there was over-recovery, you have to sit down and do reconciliation. So there is subsidy as we speak. If
there
you
is
stay,
as we speak.
No. If you stay at 8650.
There is subsidy if we stay at 8650.
Yes.
But weren't your members bringing in the product?
We were, but not much. That's what I'm saying.
But you were receiving those who brought in were receiving the subsidy.
That's why I said that at the time when there was over-recovery, government did not say pay back. So if you're going to claim subsidy, then you will sit down with government to reconcile when you are supposed to have paid against when you're supposed to be paid. So for now, with the prices at the current levels, no subsidy.
Right now you're supposed to be getting breeding costs.
From Petroleum Equalization Fund?
Yes. Let me, luckily it's an area where I operate very well. Bridging arises from movement of a molecule of product beyond a distance of 450 kilometers. That's when bridging starts. For every liter that is sold, there is a bridging contribution inside that liter that you buy. And that liter, that money is now kept by PEF. So the aggregate of that is now given to individual companies when they say they have gone beyond 450 and the distance has been verified, the delivery has been verified. Then they pay them the bridging cost.
So which is to make them sell at a uniform price.
Yes, to make them sell at uniform price. There are two schemes that make you sell at uniform price. There's one they call NTA, not the television, National Transportation Allowance for local movement, and then the bridging fund for long distance movement. These two schemes enable all marketers to sell at the same price, because eventually the PF Act allows you to go and claim for any loss that you incurred as a result of movement of the product.
And in the period before this price modulation, this new price regime, those people that were selling above the official price were getting their bridging costs, or from the NTA, as the case may be. They were being paid, right?
If you sell above the price? No.
They were selling above the price, but were they being paid there from PF?
No. If you sell above the price, you are not entitled to it. But were they selling above the price?
I thought they were paid before they even sell.
No.
It's after you...
Yes. You sell, and then you carry your documents to PEF office, and then they verify. Because when you move, bridging is a depot-to-depot calculation. You move from a depot in Lagos to Kano, for instance. When you move from Lagos, your movement is captured by PEF through what they call their Aquila system. And then by the time you arrive in Kano, there is also machinery to capture your arrival. Once you capture the two, you can then go back. And then they will verify that, yes, in our system, we see that you actually arrived.
Mr. Lawyer, from what you're saying here now, you're implying that it wasn't the federal government, it's not the federal government that's paying the bridging fund?
No.
It's actually the consumer.
It is actually the consumer. That money itself, it doesn't belong to even the marketer. The marketer is only a conduit to move the money to PEF that is now warehousing the money, and then at some point, the transporter now comes with its claims, having done the movement, having gotten the approval that the movement was done. The transporter comes back, and then PEF says, yes, I have the money. It's like if you pay about 5 naira per liter, for instance, the volume And that 5 naira is paid irrespective of whether it's local movement or bridging movement. But it is applied for bridging movement. You know, so you have 5 naira, but you now use it to pay for a movement of about 18 naira.
So, okay, we have to go. Unfortunately, I was wondering if that wasn't circumventing the law. But thank you for coming on, Mr. Obafemi Olaore, is the Executive Secretary, Major Oil Marketers Association of Nigeria. We'll be back in a minute to join us again.